Have you ever seen these edits on your For You page? If you've been on TikTok for the past month or two, you've definitely seen these. Spider-Man flying across the screen, character roto, flashing backgrounds, RJ passing music going crazy underneath it as well. They're pretty much everywhere right now, and they're getting millions of views. And the editing community, predictably, is losing its mind over it. Now, here's what I want to ask you before we even get into this video. When you saw that clip for the first time, what was your initial reaction? Because if you're a serious editor, your reaction was probably somewhere between "that's too easy" and "this is killing the space." And it makes complete sense. But I think that reaction says more about the person having it than it does about the edits themselves. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly why, and why the people dunking on polyester edits are actually missing one of the most important lessons in content creation. Stay with me now. Okay, so first, real quick, before we even get into anything, we need to define the terms. So what even is a polyester edit? The name came from the editing community as a dig. Polyester is a cheap fabric and it's simple to make with absolutely no craftsmanship. So the implication being that these edits are the cheap version of the real editing work. So here's how they're made. You take a Spider-Man clip, and usually from the movies or an animated series, you roto the character out of the background, which makes you cut him out so he's isolated. Then you put him over a fast flashing background, usually something bright and high contrast. Then you sync everything to the drop of an RJ passing track, and the whole thing takes maybe an hour if you're still learning, and less if you've done it a few times already. And that's it. That's the edit. There's no complex After Effects compositions, there's no custom SFX work, there's no crazy motion graphics. It's just a roto, a background, music, and just making sure all the cuts are synced to the beat. And it gets millions of views, which is exactly why people are mad. Now, if you're watching this video, I assume you're coming here because you're expecting me to completely hate on polyester edits. I mean, it's become a trend now to just hate on every single polyester edit you see. And most arguments that people have against polyester edits go something like this. It takes no skill. Anyone can do it. Real editors spend hours on their work and these things blow up overnight. It's not fair. It's just making the space worse. And look, I'm not gonna pretend that argument doesn't have some emotional logic to it, because if you spend 3 days on an edit, rotoscoped every single frame by hand, built the custom SFX, color graded everything meticulously, and you watch a 30-second Spider-Man clip with flashing background get 5 million views, that's gonna sting. But here's where I think people are getting it confused. They're treating easy to make like it's the same thing as bad. And those are not even the same thing. They're not even related. A photographer can take a photo in 1 second that someone pays thousands of dollars for. And a comedian can say one sentence that makes a full room of people lose it. A songwriter can write a hook in 10 minutes that plays on every single radio station for a year. And the time it took to make it has nothing to do with the value it delivers. That logic has never held up in any creative field, and it doesn't hold up here either. The real reason why most editors are upset about polyester edits has nothing to do with quality. I believe that it's jealousy dressed up as criticism, and I know that it's a hard thing to hear, but I'm saying it because it's true and because recognizing it is actually useful in order for us to tackle the real reason why they're being called polyester edits. Now, there's something that nobody in these conversations ever talk about, and this is the part that I really want you to sit with. TikTok is not an editing platform. It's not a place where editors go to appreciate editing. It's just a platform for everyone. Your brother, your cousin, your dad, and your mom. And just like those first examples, it's also for the person who has never thought about frame rates once in their entire life. The overwhelming majority of people scrolling on TikTok right now have absolutely no idea how hard it is to make an edit. They don't know what rotoscoping is. They don't know what After Effects is. They don't know the difference between a Capcut template and a fully custom composition built from scratch. They just know whether something made them feel a certain way within the first 2 seconds. And this is the core thing that a lot of editors refuse to accept. There are two completely different audiences that you can make content for. You can make edits tailored to other editors with high complexity, high craft, but meaning lower view counts because the pool of people who can appreciate that level of work is genuinely smaller. Or you can make edits tailored to regular people, the average TikTok scroller who just wants to feel something quickly and move on. That audience is way bigger than the actual editing audience. And polyester edits are built specifically for that audience. And neither of those are wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. They're just different goals. The mistake is getting angry that one audience is bigger than the other and blaming the fact that that content is reaching them. If you make a complex technical edit and it gets 50,000 views, that's not polyester edits stealing your audience. That's two different types of content reaching two different types of people. Polyester edits didn't take anything from you, and I hope that you realize that. So for all the people saying that polyester edits suck because it's just quick to make, it just has no real basis in my opinion. Because like I just said, the time it took for something to be made does not determine the quality of said thing. You could be going to the gym every single day for 5 years and still be a fat mess if you don't understand how to use the equipment. It's the same thing for social media. If you're posting edits all the time and you're not understanding how the platforms work, you're just like the gym guy who just goes to the gym but doesn't understand how to actually use the equipment and get fit. And with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe to help the channel out. You watching the entire video and leaving these comments about your experiences and opinions really make my day. And for those of you who want to quote unquote know how to not get AE, then go to my Instagram page, link in description, and make sure to follow me and like the post on the page so I can see your message. If you're watching these videos, it means you actively want to improve our video creation as a whole, whether it's edits, content creation, or anything that requires editing, which shows your determination to win in life. So thank you for being here. I appreciate every single one of you for rocking out with me, and let's get back into it. Now, here's where I want to flip this entirely, because I don't just think the hate is unfair. I think that the people hating on polyester edits are missing actual lessons that could make their own content better. The first lesson is that impact matters more than complexity. Polyester edits understand something fundamental about short form content. You have about 2 seconds to make someone feel something before they swipe, and the editors who built this style understood that instinctively. So they'll have a bright flashing background that triggers a sensory response immediately, and that roto makes Spider-Man feel present and alive against the chaos. The RJ Passon drops hits exactly when the edit needs it to. Every decision in a polyester edit is optimized for immediate impact. And in my opinion, that's not laziness. I think they just have a higher clarity of purpose. And a lot of technically complex edits completely fail at this because the editor was more focused on impressing other editors than on actually landing with a viewer in terms of the feeling that it procures into the viewer. The second lesson is that constraints produce creativity. Polyester edits have a very limited toolkit. Roto, background, and music. That's almost it. And within those constraints, the editors who do this well find ways to make their version feel distinct. The background they chose, the specific moment they cut on, the exact frame they rotoed, those small decisions are where the actual creative thinking lives. Dismissing the whole style because the toolkit is limited means you're not looking closely enough. And the third lesson is that virality is a skill. Once you understand how one social media platform works, you'll never be the same. And this one is going to get me in trouble, but I'm saying it anyway. Understanding how to make something go viral is a legitimate creative skill. I hate when people say that going viral is simply luck. It is not luck. You just have no idea how the social media platform you're posting on works, and you don't know your audience. You don't know what's interesting to people. And that's why you've never gone viral in your life, or the one time you've gone viral, it never stuck around. Just because you can't achieve something, that does not mean that all the other people that have taken the time to learn these social media platforms aren't able to achieve it themselves. This skill requires platform knowledge, audience psychology, and trend timing, and the ability to deliver something that hits the right person at the right moment. Polyester editors who are consistently getting millions of views aren't just getting lucky. They're genuinely good at something, and it might not be the thing that you value specifically, but acting like it's nothing is just wrong. Because if it wasn't the case, these videos would not go as viral as they do. Now, I need to draw the line because I already hear the comments and I already see a legion of editors coming at me, getting ready to leave their crazy comments. Alright, take your hand off the keyboard and just listen to my point, okay? I'm not sitting here telling you to just post easy stuff for views, because that's not what this video is, and that's never what I'll advocate for on my channel. There's a difference between a polyester edit that has real thought behind it and a polyester edit that's just quote unquote, I grabbed the Spider-Man clip and put it over some flashing colors because I wanted views. In one case, you're actually putting thought behind something, and in the other, you're simply doing something because it's worked before and you just want easy views. And that second one is actually slop. And yes, slop deserves to be called out. But the hate that's going around right now isn't targeting the slop specifically. It's targeting the entire style. Every polyester edit, regardless of whether it was made with thought or not. And that's where the argument falls apart. You can't condemn a creative format because some people were using it lazily. By that logic, every editing style that's ever been overused deserves to die, which would leave us with absolutely nothing. So the question you should be asking about any edit, polyester edit or otherwise, is not how long did this take to make? The question should be, did the person who made this actually have a reason to make it? Did they think about who they were making it for? And does it deliver what it's supposed to deliver? If yes, it's a real edit with actual creative direction behind it, and if not, it's just a slop edit and it should not be pushed out. The time it took is completely irrelevant. The editing community has this bad habit of deciding something is beneath it the second it becomes accessible. Happened with Capcut, happened now with polyester edits, and every time it happens, the people doing the gatekeeping miss the actual lesson the popular thing was trying to teach them. Learn from what's working, and even if it didn't take a long time to make, and even if it's not your style, even if it's not what you'd post, there's always something in it worth understanding. I'd love to know your thoughts, so leave your comments down below on what you think of this situation. Do you you agree, disagree, or are you in the middle, and why? I genuinely want to know where you actually stand on this, and not just spout what everyone's talking about. Give me your real opinions. Anyways, thank you guys for 8,000 subscribers. We literally hit it like a few days ago, and we are so close to reaching 10,000 subscribers, bro. So I appreciate every single one of you for rocking out with me on every single one of these videos. And I got a big announcement that I want to make coming this next month, so stay tuned. And if you want to learn how to develop your own editing style, watch this video. Sprint to success.